Hey guys, welcome to Davos video and our WikidPad reference tutorial. Today, we're going to be talking about footnotes. Let's get started. Footnotes are extremely useful if you're covering a topic and you want to be able to link to other topics without cluttering your information. So you can make footnotes within a page by typing brackets around a number, like so. You also have to type out the footnote at the bottom of your page in order for your information to link to one another. So first things first, make sure that footnotes are enabled in your settings. You want to go to the extra toolbar here, go to options, go to WikidPad default 2.0, and you want to make sure that you've deselected this option, which means there should not be a check mark in this box. If there's a check mark in this box, footnotes will not work. So let's go ahead and make a footnote. So here we already have our footnote 1 typed out. But as you can see down here, there is no footnote. So in order for us to link our information, we need to type out our footnote here at the bottom of our page. So I'm going to go footnote 1, and let's say this is a footnote. All right, pretty simple, right? But you can see here now that our footnote 1 is linked to this footnote here. So if we scroll up a little bit, if we see this, like, oh, there's a footnote, I want to see what that is, click on it, and it takes us directly to that footnote. Now this is going to get a little bit more complicated because you can have as many footnotes as you want, and you can have as many footnotes using the same number as you want, and that will always take you to the corresponding footnote. So let's go ahead and add footnotes 1, 2, and 3. Now let's go down to the bottom of the page and add footnotes 2 and 3. Now let's go back to our preview mode. So here in preview, you can see we have footnotes 1, 2, and 3, and they have all been hyperlinked to their corresponding footnote. Here we have footnote 1 and footnote 1. As I said, the footnotes will work in concert with one another, so no matter which one of these that I click on, they will both take me to footnote 1. And you see footnote 2 and footnote 3 also correspond. One neat thing is that your footnotes can contain hyperlinks to other pages or other information. This is because WikidPad understands this being linked to your footnote, but understands anything that comes after the footnote as typical text. So you should be able to do just about anything else that you can do up here in your page under your footnote section. Now, the last thing that I like to do with my footnotes is I like to keep my footnotes separated from the rest of my page. I want to know that when I'm looking down in this area that I'm looking at a footnote. So I'm going to type in this HR command here so that WikidPad creates a line so that when I look down here, I know that this is where my page breaks and these are where my footnotes begin. Also, I can come in here and type in footnotes in bold, maybe put a space between them, and voila, we have our footnotes. They're separated out. We know that's exactly what we're looking at when we're using it. As we continue in this tutorial and our page gets longer and larger, create any footnotes as you desire. It's going to help you get around. Now, the next thing is that having a giant number like this that's just as large as all the other text can get a little annoying. My personal preference is to have a superscript or a subscript footnote. So first, let's go over subscript. I'm going to create a new header 3 here and call this 9.1 subscript footnotes. And because this is a subsection within the footnote topic, I'm not going to add in a line. If you want subscript text, you need to put HTML references on either side of it, like a sandwich. And I'm going to put a a backward slash in front of this so that it appears in our preview mode. Just remember that you won't use this when you're actually trying to create a subscript element. We're going to put our less than greater than sign, SUB for sub. We're going to close it out with a greater than less than sign. Let's put something in here for our element. And then we're going to do this again with a less than greater than sign. This time, however, we're going to put a forward slash to mark the end of our function, sub, and then a greater than less than sign. So at the end, you type this function around your element here that you want to affect without the initial backward slash that we put here in order for it to be previewed in the preview mode. Let's go ahead and look at that. You can see here that our function didn't completely appear. We're missing the other part of our function. So let's go back and add another backward slash before the end of our function. And now you look here in preview mode, we have sub, our element, and then the end of our function. Now let's go and create some subtext. So this is less than greater than sign sub, close it out. Then we're going to write our element that we want to affect, less than greater than, forward slash, sub, close it out. And I'm just going to end this with a period. We look at this in preview mode. Voila, there you have it. You have now successfully generated Subscript. All right, so the next step is Superscript. If you want Superscript text, you're going to do the exact same thing with a slightly different function. So you're going to type without this backward slash, less than greater than, sup, close it out with a greater than less than sign, add your element in the center. We're going to add the backward slash ahead of time this time. Remember, you're not going to need that when you use this. You're going to type less than greater than, forward slash, sup or sup, and close it out with a greater than less than sign. And you know what? Let's hurry and make sure that this matches. All right. So let's hurry and do a quick example of supertext. We're going to do a less than greater than sign, sup, close it out, superscript. We're going to do less than greater than, forward slash, sup, and close it out. And I'm going to end that again with a period. Now let's take a look at it. And voila, you have now successfully created Superscript and Subscript that you can now use for your footnotes. And just to give you guys an idea of what this looks like when you use it for footnotes, let's take a look at this example sentence. If you want footnotes, there's our Superscript to look a little bit more subtle or professional. Subscript, then you need to read the Subscript and Superscript sections. And there's another Superscript footnote. Personally, I enjoy using the Superscript. As you can see here, the footnotes still hyperlink automatically because their corresponding footnotes are here at the bottom. Don't forget that when you create new footnotes, you're going to have to add new text to the bottom for that footnote to hyperlink to. All right, now the last thing I want to do is show you guys how to make a footer or a footnote that's actually an anchor. Okay, this is kind of a cheat way to do it. So this is going to be another subsection. Between our period and the word sentence, I want to create an anchor that functions like a footnote, but is not actually a footnote. So what we're going to do, as always, is we have to think about where we're going to create our anchor. Where do we want this to take us? So we want our anchor to take us down to the bottom of the page under our footnotes section. So we go down here, and we're going to type in anchor, colon, and let's use the number 4. Now that we have our anchor set, let's create our link. So remember, the first thing we do is we're going to create our link using left bracket, referencing the page that our anchor exists on. In this case, our anchor is here on our WikidPad reference page. We're going to type in WikidPad reference. Now here, instead of closing the bracket, we're going to change the way that our link presents itself. Now how we're going to do that is we're going to use our vertical line here, and then we're going to type what we want our link to present itself as. In this case, we want it to look like a footnote, but you could type out a sentence, a word. It could really be anything. So here, in the case of our footnote, we're going to want to use our number because we want it to reference our number 4 footnote at the bottom of the page. Unfortunately, because we're using brackets in this already, we cannot use brackets for our number here. So we're going to have to either settle for just the number itself, or you can put it in parentheses, like so. In this case, I'm just going to leave it as the number 4. So instead of seeing the WikidPad reference link, we'll see the number 4. Then here at the end of our anchor, we don't forget to put our anchor reference. And then we're going to reference the anchor that we put down at the bottom of the page, which is also the number 4. So we're going to put number 4 here as well. And you can see that the hyperlink has extended to the end of this command. Now, this is just going to pop up as a big ugly thing. Let's make sure we make this small. I want to do it as a superscript. So we're going to do less than greater than sign, SUP, close it out. This is our interior element. So here at the end, we're going to do less than greater than / SUP and close that out. Now let's take a look at that in preview. So now we have a footnote that's actually an anchor. You can see here that it's hyperlinked. One thing that I forgot is that when you type in your anchor here, if you don't press enter after you finish your anchor, you can see how it's appearing as normal text right now. Once you hit enter, you can see that this bolds up slightly, and that means that your anchor is functioning correctly. Otherwise, this link would just take you to the top of the page. So now that we have that done, you're looking at our example sentence. We want to go to our anchor or our footer. We're going to click on that, and it's going to bring us right down here to the bottom. Like always, the anchor disappears. It's not going to be visible in preview. So if we want to put something down here for our anchor, we're going to have to type it in. So when we go back up, click on our anchor footnote. Boom. This is an anchor, not a footnote. And that's it for footnotes, superscript, subscript, and how to make a footnote that's actually an anchor. I hope this video was useful. Don't forget to write all this down, and we will catch you next time.